not the same thing.
As soon as I go live, you go get your
Yeah,
laptop.
I got it.
Look at you. People are on their phones. People are reading books. What the fuck is this all about, bro? We're so disorganized. You know we're live. Unbelievable. I press the button. That's one of the most important. That's one of the hardest features to do. But whatever.
You don't press the
It is
button.
what it
I
is.
press the button.
We're live. Live from beautiful downtown Hialeah at Miami's #1 comic book shop, The Goblins Heist.
Number one.
Today's special guest, we have one of our favorite customers and fans, Raul. And as always, artist extraordinaire Julio Vale. And tonight, the host of the most, the lovely, the talented, the one and only, Mr. Wonderful. Give it up for Mr. Wonderful.
Yes!
We're not worthy. Let's keep it going. Wow. It's a plethora of nerds in here, bro. I'm getting 40. Excited.
If you
Sorry,
like,
guys.
If you like overweight guys,
Yeah.
beards.
And beards.
I'm
We have a
getting
plethora
excited,
of
you know,
them.
it's
The secret to a comic book shop is overweight guys with beards. I've said this for years, and I've proven it now.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Excelsior.
I mean, you know. Yeah, no, Stan Lee just had the mustache, right? Never had a beard.
Yeah.
Well, he did have a beard at some point.
He had that Coke look.
He had a
for
hairpiece.
while,
Yeah.
though. He had the thing with the hair.
Got a hairpiece.
Yeah, the hairpiece and the Coke look. That was kind of cool. I mean, I like that when he had the shaded glasses. You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the shaded Coke glasses from the 70s. That shit was cool.
Nobody's ever been as cool as Stan Lee looked in like the 70s.
You ever think
He
there was
was,
a
like,
party
so
and
hippie.
he just comes out like of a bathroom with two chicks rubbing his nose, going,
Nah, I
Excelsior.
can see that.
I remember when he did that
Excelsior.
spread where he posed like in his underwear only.
No,
Well, they
I didn't
famously-
subscribe to that magazine.
Oh, I was the only one. Oh, okay.
Famously, when he would like plot a story or he'd be working with an artist, when he did work with an artist, like there's stories of him like jumping on top of his desk, you know, acting out a Spider-Man scene. Nobody does that if they're not either A, 12 years old, or uncle.
Uncle. So you take your choice, folks. We'll take your answers
I
at
can
the end of
imagine
the show.
Stanley doing a line. That'd be
Yeah.
I need a little pick me up.
Yeah.
awesome. He just like, oh, fucking Spider-Man rules.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
asshole.
like that. It's like, all right. Guys, come on. He's made out of orange rock. And Kirby just
He's
starts
angry!
going. He's angry.
He's green. He's green.
It's like, fucking just draw, man. Just draw. Don't
Just
get
draw.
up. If you don't draw what he says, it's going to be really
Here's a
fucking
name
bad.
for you, Jake Jonah Jameson.
Big fat fool. Let's come on.
It's got to have a grab. It's got to hit.
Gotta be cooked out to this shit like that, bro.
So this is a comic review show. We review comics. We just talk about comics and everything else. Fucking no Fawad.
Oh yeah, he'll be here in a little
He's
bit.
coming in.
No
The-
Fawad.
Fawad.
It's a cliffhanger for them. It's a cliffhanger.
He's
Oh, is
got-
it? Oh,
he's
oh.
gassing
Oh.
up his.
You gotta think like Stan Lee.
There you go.
Make him turn the page. Make him turn the
For
page.
sure.
He's gassing
Who's
up his
on
magic
now?
carpet. He'll be.
Did we come on too early?
Well,
Most of our audience is here. Is that what?
yeah, that's the thing.
Most of our audience is here.
50% of our.
50% of our audience.
Sign on, Rome, sign on.
We need the numbers. That's not,
Alright, hold on.
There you go.
All right.
Claim
Oh, by the way.
Oh yeah, because
Comic
Cabo
Book.
can't do it because he's in Georgia. So he's,
What the hell?
He said he didn't report it to me yesterday. It's like, hey,
Oh,
man,
very
He's
sad.
okay, but
celebrating
I'm
his
in on it.
He'll watch it later.
Celebrating his birthday.
Oh, we do have another special guest in house. He's staying pretty quiet.
In the background, just like
Yeah,
that.
it's Juan from Korka.
Wow.
Make some noise. Korka Comics. There you go.
What's up, guys?
Korka Comics. Juan.
Not the number one.
a couple of extra ones.
I'm waiting for Tate to call me. Tate's gonna be like, hey, so I heard this thing.
What gives?
And I'm like, okay, I must destroy you now.
No pity.
Nah,
Like Ivan Drago.
he's always cool about it. He's always up to stories.
No, he's a
always
super
cool.
nice guy.
Yeah, he's super nice. But he'll call me. He'll just be like, so, you know, like, yeah.
Sends a gang of hitman nerds over to the shop.
I just slap him.
You're
in trouble now, buddy. Lift him up, Tony.
The one skinny emo guy that used to wear it.
It's like,
That's not cool, dude.
yeah.
All right, so what are we reviewing?
First up, I'm going to review Aquaman 80th anniversary. Did you guys read this?
I read some of it. One of my employees brought it into work the other day, and the art is amazing.
Yeah, art was really good. Yeah.
It's an incredible roster of talent.
Yeah.
The stories, they're good. Some are better.
The first
than
one's
others.
good because it's starting to get close to what I always imagine Aquaman being is a fucking eco-terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, if you really think about it, if he was supposed to work, he rules the oceans and all this other shit. Which I'm like, I call bullshit on it. You're not saying there's not a Chinese Aquaman? There's not an Indian Aquaman somewhere going, who the fuck says he's like this big fucking guy right now? Like, you know?
Yeah, he recently had a little tiff with Superman because he set his army of animals to like attack the surface world, but then Superman just blew a big old ice shield to stop him, and they were like into it. They were like, he's like, stop, because you know Superman's all Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Oh, that's what he's supposed to be.
And Aquaman's like, no, the surface people are destroying our oceans. Well, I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But he's Superman.
He's just like, he's pushing
like,
that
"You're
status
wrong."
quo. That's the fucking problem. See, that's the story I want to realize. Because you got fucking Batman, a fucking billionaire industrialist. You're saying Wayne Industries is zero pollution?
Mm-hmm.
There's no one in there with like a Wayne fucking barrel just like, fuck the fish. You know? There's not an oil fucking rig that's just being destroyed.
Yeah.
That's just tearing up the fucking ocean. And it's just like, you know. That's the thing I'm seeing. Like, do that storyline. Like, and they kind of did it back. I think there was a story when he had the hook hand. That they went after Aquaman and they did all this shit and everything else, but I don't know.
The standout artist in this is Doc Shaner.
Yeah, he did
Doc
that.
Shaner, if he can do a Superman book, I will die a happy man.
Yeah.
He needs to be on
that
a
was
Superman
that
book.
first story, yeah.
Look how he's like...
That's what Aquaman needed, is something like that, you know? Like, yeah, because I thought the other stories were good. It gave some form to the other characters. There were a couple that were lackluster in the artwork. And some of these are leading to new books.
What chapter is pretty impressive too. He did a really good work on the art.
I don't know who the fuck Aqua Beast was, and I'm not what is this the super gay like Aquaman? He's not gay, but
looks interesting.
Yeah,
It's too much pink for me. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
Trun Lee Gwyn, like that was the bombshell version of Aquaman. They did that and everything, but everything's leading to the new I think Black Manta book and I think the new Aquaman. Oh, and it was cool that they gave Robson Rocha a write-up because he passed away this year.
Oh.
And yeah, he was a pretty good, damn good artist too. So
I
I dug it. It's $10. It was awesome. Like damn, like nobody in here.
Yeah, just got it on my pull. I haven't read it yet, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
This Walter Simonson cover is super badass.
Yep.
Hey!
Look who it is.
Now the fun starts.
Don't touch the camera whatsoever. Please be careful.
There you go. Here, sit up.
Hey.
The Star Wars review doesn't start until a little bit. A lot of Aquaman you talked about, man.
That's a lot of Aquaman.
Yeah.
You don't think Aquaman
We lost
deserves to have
one
more?
person.
I know,
he's
right?
He's such an unpopular
You're one of those
character. He could
weirdos
be
from the
cool,
damn
but he's
stream.
so,
You damn right.
you know.
Which one?
That's
Everybody
Raul
hates
Madero.
The first one.
Everybody loves to hate him.
I feel he's a
It's
Alex
horrible
Caldwell's your
character.
arch enemy. Even that movie, which was well done, I was like thinking about all the chores I had to do. I was like, did I put my laundry in?
Well,
Yeah.
the special effects were amazing.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
But it was
But
still
the
boring.
storyline was boring. Everybody did a horrible acting job. You know, nobody has
No,
like
We have
hair
a
that
peace
red.
agreement over here.
Like, it was
Yeah,
just,
no.
There's like a
There's
bunch
a
of
peace
plots in the
agreement over
story.
here.
I was
Yeah,
like, I mean, I'll take
Jeff
it.
Johns, the New 52 Aquaman with Jeff
What's some
Johns.
insults about people's
Yeah.
wives between each other when you're good friends?
He
all it is.
he has some good storylines. Like in the '90s when he had the harpoon for a hand, that was pretty cool.
Aquaman. You're talking about Harpoon Hand Aquaman?
Yeah,
Oh, I like Harpoon Hand Aquaman.
harpoon
Yeah.
hand. Aquaman is pretty
What
badass.
about Waterhand?
Waterhand was lame.
No.
Waterhand
You know
was
how,
lame.
you know
Like
how
Waterhand.
crazy that stupid book went near the end? After the harpoon, then his hand became water. I think then he became water. Then they drowned San Diego and started calling it Sub Diego. And there was a clone of Aquaman. It was so fucking stupid near the end of the whole Jeff Johns. No, Jeff Johns brought it kind of back to
I think that was
Yeah.
Peter David, right? Wasn't that Peter David's run?
after Peter David.
After-
That vague period between Peter David and Jeff Johns,
Okay.
where Aquaman just
Oh,
went.
Peter David.
No, Peter David's run was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know the best part about Peter David run? That character
Sit over here.
Dolphin.
Just sit here. Because
Yes.
he's not gonna be
Oh,
on the
she
camera.
was hot. Oh, she'll give you a
Let's
little
send 'em that
teenage
way.
boner, a dolphin would.
Yeah.
She had little jean shorts. That
Yeah.
character was great.
Dolphin. Yeah.
Remember Dolphin? She didn't talk a lot.
Dolphin.
She looked like Daisy Duke of the water.
Yeah.
She was like underwater Daisy Duke.
Conversation.
She was underwater Daisy
What?
Duke.
What? You don't like
You
these?
gotta move on.
You gotta move on.
Everyone's leaving.
It's Aquaman. No, actually, more people came in. There's 7 people. They want to hear some hot
They
Aquaman
want-
action.
They know
This
that.
looks like the worst 1-800 number you could
Yeah,
ever
sexy.
fucking call. Right now. You call right now. Talk about Aquaman.
Call us.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
You like to talk about Aquaman?
sometimes late at night I talk about comic books. Call us.
John, can you move the chair a little this way?
what's
Like
your-
that
Okay,
way? Like that?
Just a little.
Just so we can get
No, here's
Just move it back.
go
move
a
it
little
back.
bit more.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
There we go. Everybody's in there.
Yeah.
What-
Hey,
Hey,
look at that.
I'm a
I'm
cameraman.
It's a council of nerds.
What's going on today? Is it Council of
It's
Nerds?
half
Is that
of
what we're
Council of
doing?
Nerds today.
All right, cool.
You know, just the Grand Council. First up, why aren't we getting laid, guys? First up in the agenda.
Well, I've bought every Star Wars comic book that exists.
So I don't know. Why haven't I gotten laid?
Still haven't
I
seen-
show them my Max run.
Yeah.
I'm in the letter pages of issue 36.
Oh my goodness.
They don't drop the penny.
See-
Yes, I am.
The thing is that I open every date by talking Aquaman.
There you go.
And I should be a panty dropper. Like, how are you not swimming in the poon?
When they ask, are you talking about Jason Momoa, that hot Aquaman? I'm like, no! I'm talking about the blonde, pasty-faced white guy.
That's
Aquaman.
cool, man.
The Hitler's dream.
Yeah.
The
Another-
Aryan Aquaman.
Of
Another
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Another great thing in the 90s, they had that Aquaman, and they can't do this anymore. In the Justice League, because that was when Justice League was more friendlier, Aquaman and Martian Manhunter had a friendly rivalry where, I forget which one, I think Martian Manhunter loved Oreo cookies, and Aquaman loved Hydrox cookies. Look them up, this is in the book, so it was a running thing. And
Nobody
they would have
likes
this.
Hydrox cookies.
I loved Hydrox cookies.
Poor man's Oreo.
Yeah,
I love Hydrox
I had
cookies.
Hydrox. I don't know. I
love
Oreo's
Hydrox
better.
cookies.
Oreo's better. But I'm
the
alright with
name is
Hydrox.
bad.
No, they had that great theme song. Open up a cookie, a Hydrox cookie, open it up and say, Hydrox, Hydrox. It's a fucking real thing.
It sounds like a chemical.
Yeah,
Hydrox.
it's pretty bad.
Hydrox sounds like...
Does not sound appetizing.
Well, whichever
Like,
superhero was on the
Hydrox,
Hydrox.
cookies.
Hydrox is what Dr. Kevorkian gives you.
Hydrox is great. Fuck
Here,
you guys.
have one of these.
Fuck you guys.
It sounds like what the windows of the
Just
NASA,
kill me
like
now.
the NASA shuttles are made out of. Like,
No.
don't worry, they're made out of Hydrox. We'll be fine.
If I could find a pack of unopened Hydrox cookies, I'd eat it right now.
They're not around anymore.
No, they didn't. I haven't seen a Hydrox. in
Oreo
years.
won the cookie war.
Of course they
Of
won.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hydrox
it
was
was
a
never a
fucking
war.
underdog, man.
It was never a war. It was like, oh, you stepped on my sneakers? Fuck.
Yeah.
No. Well, whichever.
Well, I always
superhero-
thought Hydrox was the RC Cola
Hydrox
of
is
the
awesome.
sandwich cookie market.
Hydrox is
It
more
was.
like a cheese doodle. You know how like cheese
Welcome to
doodles are
sandwich
pretty
cookie,
good?
cookie market.
Yeah, like if
We
you can't
talk about
find
cookies.
Cheetos,
Well, cheese
you get a
doodles-
cheese doodle,
Hold
it'll
on,
get
hold
you
on.
black.
If you have a pack of puffy cheese doodles,
No, I like
Yes.
the I like the
compared to
doodles.
puffy Cheetos, puffy cheese doodles, and a taste test will win hands down.
No,
Guaranteed. I used
your
to work-
hands down.
I worked for Wise and I worked for Frito-Lay.
Really?
You fucking
Puffy
traitor.
cheese doodles.
What did you do at the Wise and Frito Lay
I
company?
used to sell potato chips.
He was a chip
Really?
bag. He was a chip bag. Yeah.
That's why he's so weird
No.
with chips.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, you didn't notice all that crap?
You
John
shove
knows
chips down
chips.
people's
No,
throats.
you don't want that. You want
He gave
this.
us, he gave us shit the other day because they were going bad,
See.
and he was like,
Yeah,
"I'm like,
yeah,
chips
you
go
got a
bad."
weird
Give
chip-
everybody some potato
You
chips.
got a weird chip thing.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that chips went bad.
Ah,
I was
okay.
like, "Chips go
So
bad."
now,
Like a
now we
professional
gotta have
chip guy.
now we gotta have a John's chip review.
John.
Yeah, I'll pay money to watch that. Yeah, John, we're gonna shove different chips down your mouth.
We're gonna
until
talk
you
to
get it.
Apple Plus.
He's
We'll
like,
get
it's
you a
got
show.
it's got a hint of nutmeg. It's like a sommelier of chips. You have a big glass with fucking Cheetos in it.
You put like
The
different chips.
polysorbonate. Yeah, the polysorbonate is very
Give
good.
her all the pack of
No,
potatoes.
this is what you
No,
do.
give a pack of potatoes.
Every night he
Give
shoves
everybody
chips in your face.
Yeah.
Give
There you
everybody.
go. Everybody gets
You're a diet.
Yeah, this is not
You got
gonna
two.
cause the audio to
Anyway,
go down.
look, the point is,
December
I think
21st.
Aquaman was pro Hydrox, and I'm pro Aquaman, and I'm pro Hydrox.
December 21st. Yeah,
Comic
we're
books.
good,
Let's
we're
sell some comic books.
good. Anyway, so yeah, enough about Aquaman.
No, Aquaman's great.
We like Aquaman. So
Yeah,
what's the
it
next book?
And he's got those weird fin.
Did you guys read this?
The
Anybody?
fin calves.
I did, and it was
Okay.
great. Great. The only thing I don't like about it, once again, it had Japanese names, and that's kind of hard for me.
Why?
Regular names are hard for you.
Yeah, that's true too.
What do you mean Japanese names are hard for you?
Man, it's hard to identify with a character when you can't pronounce their names.
Really?
And at least for me, it is.
Your
It's hard
racism is
to-
so multifaceted.
It's not racist. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to read it. It's like it looks like it seems like it sounds like gibberish.
What's
to
some
me.
of these names?
So what
What's
you're
some of
saying
these names?
it's
So
Well,
Peach
well,
Momoko to
Momoko.
begin with.
Momoko.
Momoko is one of the.
You can
it's
say
the artist.
Momoko. Let's see
The-
another.
No, now he got
Yoshida.
Momoko. That's because I yelled at him like 20
Okay,
times.
let's-
about
Let's
it.
Beautiful
say
on
some
the
Japanese
inside.
names and see which ones John can pronounce.
The book is beautiful from cover to cover.
Okay.
And the art, the story
That
is
was-
very, very good. You can't.
Basho.
Oh, you see, I probably mispronounced that.
Say
What
it.
about Mariko?
I didn't know what it was.
I only can
Mariko was like an old character of Wolverine's girlfriend, Mariko.
Ogen, Toraji,
Tempura.
Ocho.
No, say a big one. Say like one of the long ones, like
I don't know,
Takahashi.
I mean, the art is
Matsumi
freaking
Shiro?
amazing.
The art's beautiful on the book.
Yeah, that's pretty
The
good.
storyline is very, very good, guys.
I like that there aren't too many word bubbles in it. That it's just like
It reads
the art
like a
tells
manga.
the
Yeah,
story.
no, it reads like a manga.
I
It's
like
just like a
books that
manga.
are like that.
I'm on a diet.
Kirisaki.
It is Marvel's version of manga. I think Peach Momoko killed it on this book. She did a great job. The artwork is excellent. The storyline is good. It reminded me of almost like reading what's this guy? The rabbit book.
Usagi.
Usagi Yojimbo.
Usagi.
Usagi Yojimbo. It's very similar to that in the respect of the way the story goes along. But it's a little bit more. I feel like the story is a little bit more developed than what they did. Stan Sakai does. Stan Sakai is a little bit simpler.
What are you talking about?
No.
Get the hell out of here. This guy's an American treasure.
Stan Sakai is great. Don't get me wrong. Stan
You
Sakai
even
is
read
great.
a real like.
The art is great. Everything is great. This one was like Stan Sakai on steroids. That's how I
No, what's that? That guy's amazing. When you read that guy, you learn about Japanese history, about tatami mats and fucking how things are made and this
He's
and
a
that.
historian.
I think you just skip over those parts.
Right. Well, it was a very good book. Highly recommended. If you're not reading Demon Days, pick it up. Something that you really have to get into because it's good from cover to cover.
You know what was a little bit hard to get
5
into?
stars. 5 stars.
Because interestingly, when DC was doing their movies, right? They did New 52 or they did the DC Animated Universe. Marvel, you wonder, where was Marvel? Where was Marvel's movies? Because DC Animated Universe with Batman Animated Series, Superman Animated Series was big time. In the 2000s, Marvel made a deal with an anime studio in Japan.
Oh yes.
And they released a series of movies. An anime version, anime-ish version of X-Men, anime version of Wolverine's X-Men,
I remember those.
Spider-Man, and they suck, man. I try to watch. You try to
bad.
watch
Yeah,
those.
bad.
They're like that Iron Man.
But the action is pretty good.
That
I know
was
it,
alright,
but
yeah.
it's like such a fail in retrospect. DC kicked so much ass, and nobody talks
I mean,
about
but
it.
Marvel has always been lagging behind. I mean, now you have the What If series, which is decent, but I mean,
Well, they didn't have an in-house animation company. It's Warner Brothers, so they just like rock, over, and especially now they're
yeah,
all
but
Anaheim.
I don't think that is what makes it good. I mean, it's just like the writing, which is bad.
Yeah.
The characterizations of
When it
of
gets
characters
too
are pretty
Japan-y,
bad.
when the writing, that got too anime-ish. Because
I
there
mean-
are certain fetishistic things in anime that are going to be there.
Nah, it
They're
could be
kinda in
way
this too.
more anime.
Well,
I mean,
but I think they get a little bit into,
they,
like-
they did
They
the
could have
Batman
made it
Ninja.
like
Have you guys
Wolverine
seen
was
that?
born inside a fruit, and then he was.
No, but
given,
sometimes it's like
it
a
could be
character
really-
standing on a balcony looking at a peach blossom or some shit and
Yeah.
thinking for 10 minutes. That's not
But-
Jack Kirby.
But they did the Batman Batman Ninja. That was
Kirby
really
would
good.
have punched that peach.
Punch the peach fucking thing. It turns into a monster. Then he attacks it.
Yeah.
And it turns invisible. And then Stan Lee makes it a Norse god.
Yeah.
This is pretty good though. I like this Peach Momoko.
No, very, very good. Very good.
All right.
Very good.
Anything? What did you guys read? Julio, Raul, did you guys read anything?
The Geiger.
Okay. Well, then let's do Geiger. I haven't read Geiger. I haven't been able to read anything.
Man, this,
Yeah.
yes, this is the last issue of
This story arc.
this story arc. Yeah, they're gonna go on a hiatus, and the
I think I
trade
just-
paperback's coming out
I
soon.
just ordered it.
Yeah, the trade paperback's coming up, super soon. So I highly recommend this series. It's Jeff Johns, and Gary Frank, like pretty much at their best. I mean, I follow that team. I don't usually pick up Superman, but I love their run on Superman. You know?
Absolutely amazing run.
And
I know,
you know, I even
you
follow.
hate true justice in the American way.
Yes, true justice in the
Everybody knows
American
that.
way. Yeah.
You hate that. Keep going.
Well, this Geiger guy,
Yeah.
he can fuck anybody up.
Yeah.
What
Anybody,
is
I don't
Geiger
know.
about?
This guy's got. Well, I don't know. Maybe Superman will fuck him up, but I think if he gets close enough to Superman, he might even fuck him up with all the radiation.
Yeah.
Who would fuck who up? That's a good question.
But I don't think so because
No.
he doesn't really have superpowers. He seems like he's super strong.
He's radioactive.
You know, he's radioactive. He is stronger than like an average human.
Bro, he
But it's
stood
not-
between
it's not-
a car and let the car hit him, and the car.
I mean, he could take
I
Superman.
mean, but not because the car hit him, but maybe because the heat that he's generating
yeah.
is what
John,
softened
let's
up the
be
metal
rational,
for
though.
him to
Superman
be
can
able to-
fly around the earth. And
Yeah.
make,
You're right,
Make
you're
time
right.
go back in
No,
time.
I don't think it could take Superman. And that's not something that I would
yeah,
really
the
want to
story's
see.
not about that. It's a great story.
Yeah.
There's these two kids in the story that have an issue, and
So this is
it's
a
heartwarming.
yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic America,
Oh,
and
like last March.
yes,
Okay.
and he is a person that survived because he had cancer and he was going under an experimental procedure to cure his cancer, but he was building a bunker for his family, and
His neighbors.
his neighbors tried to break into the bunker, and he defending his family. He closed the bunker. He stayed. Everybody died, and he stayed guarding the bunker.
Yeah.
Wait, so the chemo gave him superpowers?
Well, it's a type of
Well,
chemo,
no,
and-
the
and-
nuclear-
Opposite of
nuclear-
what chemo actually
So no, there was a nuclear apocalypse.
and a
just-
shotgun blast at the same time.
So the
Everything
mix of the chemo plus the radiation
and a
gamma
shotgun
waves
blast.
gave him, and he got bit by a
Oh,
spider.
come on. Don't,
Yes.
like, suspend
I mean, like,
belief.
look, okay. It's,
You know, like,
of
come
course,
on.
Of course, it's a
It's
bullshit.
comics.
You know, of course, it's a bullshit story.
If you got bit by a radioactive
Also-
spider, what would you
I'm
do
just
other than
trying to be
shit your
clear
pants
on
and
what
throw
the
it?
concept is.
Also-
I'm on board.
Also, Mr. Aquaman fan, Atlantis doesn't exist either.
It did exist. It was part of Spain. It got submerged in Roman times. Fuck you.
Oh, God.
All right, bottom line, the book is really good. If you're not picking up this series, really
History
find the
books.
back issues.
Yes.
Get on this book. This is the last issue of this story arc.
Baby, whatever.
5 stars on this book too.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that.
What the hell it's about. So it's a guy
It's
who
only a matter of
got some
time before it gets
radiation,
picked
got
up
some
or
powers.
something.
No, for sure. If you
Yeah.
guys have issue
And then
number
he's in
1,
a post-apocalyptic, United States.
Okay.
There's different gangs, factions,
As there will be.
As there
we all
will be,
It's
you know,
not going to happen
and-
to America
Oh,
in
yeah,
real
yeah.
life.
I got
and
my-
it's very,
Mad Max.
it's
I have my
very,
feather
it's
mohawk
kind of Mad
and
Max,
leather
but it's
cap
also, it's kind of Mad Max, but it's also Camelot 3000 or 2000, which one?
3000.
3000.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just want to say that when we all form into big gangs, once society crumbles, right? Of our group, I want to be the gimp guy.
Oh, that's going
I
to be a
get chained
given.
in front of the Cadillac,
Yeah.
And get the kid out of the cage.
just cheating all the time. Yeah. You
Well,
guys
check
can
you
be
can
whatever.
in front of the Ecolab truck.
Like, you could be the you could be the king, you could be the master blaster, whatever. You know, whatever. You could be the sex slaves. I want to be the gimp.
It's gonna be funny to be in a post-apocalyptic place. You're there trading for water. See a guy with a zipper mask, and he's like, "What? What? Hey!
How you doing, man?
He's a black dude.
I thought you got Indian only a little bit.
So what are you up to nowadays? Oh, scavenging for water.
Scavenging for water. You know,
Goes
the
around.
Turbo Lord has said that.
Yeah, we gotta clean Turbo Lord's feet in the morning. Get some water. Oh, same.
What'd you have for breakfast? Rape. I got raped in the morning.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh no, I'm mostly just chained to the Cadillac. All day.
I just scream. Just scream. That's you. They are the one that screams.
You're the blood bag.
I like everybody up the with the screaming. Did you see the new guy that walked in? The grifter and the leather and with the car? Fuck that guy.
Yeah. He's not
He
gonna
messed
be
everything up. That guy's
I like that guy. Yeah, the guns and
total
shit.
poser.
He's
That
trying
guy's
to
a
break
poser.
tear down the system. You know, does he remember what it was like before?
Well, I know. It's like,
Horrible.
it's not as good as now.
This is great.
Hey,
dude.
yeah, you got chased by a
Who
Cadillac.
wants it, man?
Somebody ate my fucking arm.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. It's good.
We don't know kill those midgets for the gasoline lady.
Yeah.
Those little midgets got some gas.
They got a bunch of gas over there. I don't know.
Man.
They're not midgets. They're just
I
Nicaraguans.
would
Those
love it.
Nicaraguans?
They're
I thought they were little mutant midgets. They're
They're
Nicaraguans?
just Nicaraguans. But the Nicaraguans and Salvadorians are gas.
That's good. It'll be Mad Max in South Florida.
In South Florida.
the
Just
king
airboats.
The king of
Just airboats
Hialeah.
are-
I am the king of Hialeah. Yeah. Anyways,
Just
Geiger.
walk away.
now I get what
Walk away.
now I get what Geiger's about.
And that's Geiger in a nutshell.
Great book. 5
Great book,
stars,
yeah.
guys.
5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah, this is a great one. We're gonna have the trade. I think I ordered 3 copies. So let me know. What's up, Marlon? Geiger better than Post Americana?
2 different stories.
Yeah.
2 different type of stories. I like them both. Geez, I'm
2 different flavors. To me,
I like the art on Post Americana more.
that's
Post Americana's
debatable.
got
Yeah,
kind of,
Steve-
I would say that Post Americana is more.
It's just way more violent too.
It's more violent, but it's also more irreverent. It's like, you know, you have like weird cartoon robots, and
It's like it's more
and
sci-fi weirdo.
It's sci-fi weirdo, and this is more.
Rounded.
It's
Yeah.
more sci-fi, superhero-ish kind of. You know,
Both are good.
both are really good.
Yeah,
both
but,
are really
but the art on Post Americana, forget about it.
Yeah.
That guy's going off
Steve
the chain.
Scrooge is a
Yeah,
beast.
I would say that Post Americana, what Post Americana has going over Geiger is that the storyline moves faster, and I like that. And there's more action. It's more action
Steve
packed.
Scroce is like a Jeff Darrow.
Yeah.
Yes. You could get yes.
And I was thinking about that post-apocalyptic stuff the other day, and Jeff Darrow's Hard Boiled
Amazing.
and Frank Miller's Martha Washington
Mhm.
are like 2 of the greatest
Yes, they are.
post-apocalyptic America,
Totally agree.
like Postman
Totally.
falling down.
Well,
things.
have you
So
seen
good.
Jeff Darrow's Shaolin Cowboy?
It's
Then
okay. I like it.
Yeah.
But without that Frank Miller edge,
Yes, without.
Jeff Darrow is cool.
It's great to look at, but it's not a story.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about I was driving and I saw some litter on the floor, and I was like, it just made me think of that art in the Jeff Darrow post-apocalypse where you just got like cigarette butts and Coke cans, and what a great commentary that is on America and sprawl and our culture and everything. I think I was thinking that today. And so that's like the watermark or the high mark or whatever. So these books, they have to compare to that. But I think they're pretty good. It's an interesting genre.
Yeah. I mean, also Hard Boiled was an oversized.
Yeah, it's a treasury
Beast.
edition.
I love that
It's
book.
Is a beast, and then you could just, I mean, double page spreads. You don't have much of that in Geiger.
Yeah.
No.
No, but
It's a
his art-
spectacle. It's a
Yeah,
spectacle.
but that's why you
Jerry
can't.
Frank's art's
We really
great.
can't compare both comic books. They're both post-apocalyptic tales, but Post-Americana's artwork is, in my opinion, a notch higher than Geiger. But the story, I think, is a little bit more, like you say, grounded in Geiger.
Yeah.
And Post-Americana is just.
They have a
Fucking
character
yeah.
called the Flying Fuck.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I mean,
it.
what you have to understand is that you have 2 different writers, 2
And
different
he's a guy who
creators.
flies.
So,
Yeah.
you know, Geoff Johns is a wannabe Alan Moore. Like, let's just
Big
face it, that's all he
Big
does.
time.
So, he's all about the 9-panel grid, and
Yeah.
you will see that in each one of his books. It's all about the 9-panel grid, a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it as masterfully as Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons did it,
Tom
because
King
these are
does
2
that.
masters.
His writing isn't like poetry like
Yeah,
Alan Moore's.
no,
but
and it's
pretty
not.
strong writing.
It's not, and I don't think that Geoff Johns understands the medium as well as Alan Moore, because Alan Moore will write you a script like he did in Watchmen, where you have a comic book where beginning to end the layout of the comic book mirrors each other by design, coming together into one scene that becomes a de facto double page spread. That's something made by somebody, because Alan Moore draws and he is an artist, somebody who really understands the medium and really thinks about it. Geoff Johns is like the RC Cola,
He also thinks he's a snake.
you know, Yeah.
Well, the one thing you gotta respect Jeff Johns, he fucking carried the comic book industry on his back for the last 10 years, at least half of it. He did. I don't like all of his stuff, but that guy did like overhaul. And like the reason people talk about Green Lantern and all, and a lot of these stupid characters, like Justice. Right now, he's got Stargirl on TV. He's pimping the Justice Society hard in it. I don't like everything he did with Justice Society, but it's true. People fucking know what Justice Society is now. These are my
Anyway.
And I even enjoyed, what's the last one that he did that was the sequel to Watchmen, kind of?
Before Watchmen?
Doomsday Clock.
Before
No, the
Watchmen?
Doomsday Clock.
Oh,
That was pretty good until like it really lost me in the end.
I didn't read that.
I got what he did.
I was into it.
The end wasn't bad because the love letter,
They're
the
milking
comics,
the Watchmen
and blah, blah,
franchise
blah.
too much. It's like, nah.
No,
Once
it-
enough.
No, they sucked that shit dry. They were sucking
I
it
like
dry.
that.
I mean,
Okay.
the artists for that book and for Before Watchmen, forget about it. But the stories were like, why?
The only part I liked is the symbolism, the whole idea in the end that
Yeah.
Superman's most powerful ability is to give hope. That was his most powerful ability.
And
So
Dr.
that was
Manhattan
cool.
supposedly was responsible for creating the New 52.
Yeah, because of the spark or whatever.
Oh my
the
God.
fuck it
Get
is.
one
outta
thing he
here.
says in that
But it's all
comic-
bullshit. Come on, New 52, and even now, it's all fucking.
It is
Now
bullshit.
it's the Batman who laughed, but God is
Oh,
Wonder Woman,
God.
and she hit him, and now there's a new universe, and now there's no multiverse, and it's one universe, and it's this thing.
I liked Doomsday Clock overall because it wasn't trying to replace Watchmen. It was a sequel. It was a what if sequel. It was a what if the Watchmen characters came into the DC universe, and you know what would happen. And then I actually liked that it came out at the same time as that TV show Watchmen, which was also very different. So you had two different perspectives on Watchmen that weren't trying to compete with Alan Moore's thing or rewrite it. It was just like, for me, it felt like an anthology series with different takes on the stuff, and I thought they were both pretty solid.
If it had come out
I didn't take
on
that
time,
seriously.
it was notoriously late. If it had come out on time, I believe that it would have a stronger following.
I liked it better than the Before Watchmen stuff. I tried to get into Before Watchmen, but Before Watchmen is a prequel, and it tries to like improve upon Alan Moore stuff. Like, hey, here's more information. And that for me was like, eh. But they had solid creative teams.
Yeah,
on
no,
all of it.
I mean,
The new Rorschach thing, I can't even fucking read it. It's just,
No,
the art does nothing for me.
Tom King.
I
lost
liked
it
the
all
first three
cameo.
issues, but I didn't drop it. I just didn't have a chance to read it. But I liked the idea of working from a murder backwards.
Could
So
be
I
great.
just took it as that, and I just
It's-
don't look at it at the history of Watchmen or anything
I
else.
would want to read it in trade paperback form because maybe it reads better like that. I found it, what I did read of it, I found it overly wordy, and then it was very meta, but it was kind of, I don't know, I couldn't get into it.
So what do you have there? Is that serious stuff? What'd you read? Because I read the Savage
So,
Dragon.
yes, this Savage Dragon, fucking great book.
I wish you would do omnibuses, man. I
But
fucking love that
he
shit.
kinda
he did the archive editions in black and
Yeah.
white. Those
Yeah.
were really good.
Are they still doing those?
I don't
No,
think he's
I
come
haven't
out
seen
with
a new
one in
one
a
in a
while.
while.
I had to sell
You
my
know.
entire run years ago, which I still regret, but
No,
Yeah.
now some of those issues are pricey as shit. Because
Yeah, they
102,
Savage Dragon?
yeah.
yeah.
I thought you get the whole run for like $5.
102 or 103, I think is the first. It's the preview first appearance of Invincible. It's a $200 book.
Shit.
I know because I collect Savage Dragon
Son of a
and I want to
bitch.
kick somebody in the teeth. Anyway, this one was like just one of the things with Savage Dragon. I keep telling people, I think you have to have like a bit of an advanced degree in reading comics because there's parts there where he's gonna go wherever the fuck he goes.
Yeah.
Also, he has a big
Is
thing
that what
for
it looks like
aging
now?
girls. Well, that's okay. I'm like, how do I explain this?
So yeah, the thing is that
That's Malcolm.
Mhm.
yes. So
That's
it's
Malcolm.
not. So this is the original
Original.
Savage Dragon,
Right.
right? From Graphic Fantasy and Megaton Man.
Uh-huh.
So that's Savage Dragon. The original Savage Dragon from this series died.
Oh, damn.
So
The
he
Finhead
is-
guy?
yeah.
The original Finhead
The
guy.
Fin-
The
Yeah.
original Finhead died.
Now it's the
no.
son.
Son of
He
a
died.
bitch.
Now the main character of this book is his son, Malcolm Dragon, who is the son that he had with Rapture.
Does he look like a Finhead guy?
Yes, he
Yes.
looks
Got
like
a
a
fin.
Finhead guy, and he has electricity powers.
Does he look like the same thing?
He looks like the same thing except
As
he's
long
half
as he
black.
looks the same.
He's half black. I know you already don't like him.
Well, if he was green, if his daddy was green and his mama was black, that makes him kind of brownish.
Yeah.
He's like a
It's
dark
darker
green.
green.
Olive-ish.
He's olive.
He's a-
Olive.
he's
Yeah,
an
olive
olive
color.
color,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But so then
I don't see color.
the original main character of
You
this
get that
book
checked
who
out.
was Savage Dragon, who was an alien from another world or whatever that was stranded
What
here.
the hell
in this
was
earth.
he? What the hell was the original Savage Dragon?
So the original Savage Dragon, when it first came out, it was a mystery. Nobody knew who
Right.
he
He was
was,
amnesiac.
where he came from.
That's when I
So
followed it.
that story, his actual origin story, was in Image Comics. This Image comic book that never came out, Image Comics 0 or something.
Nice.
And then he eventually published it after the fact,
Okay.
issues and issues later. So the origin of the original character of this book, he was a conqueror of a race that looked just like him. They all have the fin head and all that stuff. And he was like a badass conqueror,
Oh.
but he was a despot, and he was killing his own people.
Oh.
He was like raping women.
Oh.
So then they were an advanced series, an advanced society.
Oh.
So what they did is they mind wiped him and they stranded him on Earth, and that's why he had amnesia. He didn't know who the fuck he was and all that stuff. And that's how they explained that.
What was his name?
Dragon.
No, his name was. It was like a weird Clerg or something. It was
Clerg.
like a weird. Yeah, some like one of these made up alien names.
I don't
That's-
know why he didn't go with that. The Adventures of Clerg.
So then,
With 2 G's.
Kerr.
so then that character.
Kerr.
So then that character after it
It
was
was kind of
revealed.
like an Invincible thing.
Yeah,
Invincible thing.
yeah. So then after it was revealed
Why
that
are
he
you
was
over
evil and
there?
all that stuff.
I'm reading.
After it was revealed that he
He's
was
getting
evil,
ready for the Star Wars minute.
Yeah.
he died.
Don't roll your eyes. It's amazing.
The original
I'm gonna
Savage
go
Dragon.
smoke a cigarette.
No.
Dragon
The
died.
dragon died. So then, the original dragon from Graphic Fantasy came over from his dimension. That's another.
Because they had a event.
That's another. They had an event where like
What's
kind of like an
also-
Infinite Earths
What's
kind of thing.
Graphic Fantasy?
That was the original,
original-
comic that
original
Savage Dragon
Savage Dragon.
came out in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Oh.
So
Yeah, he self-published that.
yeah.
Ah.
So
He's
then-
a dad, Megaton Man,
Look,
some
it's
other ones.
kind of-
Vanguard Comics.
Yeah.
Vanguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same?
He looks at the fin is smaller.
I've been smaller.
So then
It's not the size.
yeah no.
No.
So then
That's
he came
what we all
over.
say.
He came
How you
over.
use it.
He came over from his dimension over to Malcolm Dragon's dimension, and now he's, it's weird for Malcolm because he's my father, but he's not my father.
Yeah.
And so
Anyway,
they fight crime
this
together.
issue.
But this issue is
That's great.
fucking
Thank
nuts.
That was
Update, man.
we had the fucking Star Wars minute coming out. That we just had the Savage
That was
Dragon
so
minute.
weird. I loved it.
Holy shit!
I loved
I'm
it.
into it, and I'm like, all right,
I loved it.
I
didn't
get
know
it.
That shit.
yeah.
No,
so
it's
Savage
great.
Dragon has a crazy fucking history, and
Only
that's
thing
why
I
it's
remember
fun to
about
read
Savage
those.
Dragon, he was a cop on a cartoon. He had
Well, he was like a
alien,
Bruce
and he was
Willis
a cop.
ripoff. He was a
Yeah.
Bruce Willis superhero ripoff. That's what he was.
Bruce
And he
Willis.
missed
What
leg
does Bruce
day.
Willis have to do with it?
Because he had that whole look of him. He had like the shaved head and like Die
He
Hard.
looked like Bruce Willis. He had a
Well-
fin in his head.
Well,
Bruce Willis with a fin on his head.
I guess.
I mean,
Bruce Willis, he was buffer than. I always thought he was an Incredible Hulk ripoff when you looked at him.
I thought, yeah.
Early
So how was
That's
this
fair.
issue, Julio? Let's get back to the
This
nitty-gritty.
issue is fucking nuts. I mean, so much shit happens in this issue.
Yeah, it's like you turn a page, somebody dies, somebody's
Yeah.
exploding in blood. The next page, it's a wedding.
Yeah.
The next page, it's like
Eric Larson has
Yeah.
such a creative
And
mind.
And then it's like, oh, and then he's in the hospital. It's like, it's crazy. And then it keeps going. And there's a great story about
Dean
by
Haspel.
Dean Haspel.
The Red Hook.
Yeah, Red
Yeah.
Hook. Also creator of Billy Dogma.
Billy Dogma. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite creation. And
Somebody
then obviously
compared
he's
Dean-
bringing back the Ant.
I ordered some of those.
Yeah. So I mean, I look forward to what he's doing. He's gonna be, if he keeps at it, if he's healthy, he's gonna break Dave Sims' record of 300 comics. Just him,
Yeah.
pencils, inks.
He's the only creator.
He's
the
the only
only
creator to
one
do
that
that.
did it.
Because Dave Sim
Like,
didn't even do
you-
that.
you-
He had
like-
he had a background artist.
I mean, you could
Gerard.
say Todd McFarlane. Yes, he has his 313 issues or 321 issues.
Whatever the no.
that he's at now, and it's great. But he's not drawing all those issues.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he hasn't.
Eric Larson,
Yep.
He's a beast.
you can hate his politics, you can do all this stuff, but this man gets to work, and he
makes comics.
makes
He's a
great
workhorse.
comics.
He's a
How
workhorse.
many did Carl Barks do back in the 50s? I wonder. The guy that did all the Disney cartoons.
He did a lot.
He did
Yeah.
mostly the Donald Duck line.
He did a lot.
He was mostly known for that.
I mean-
Barks.
Nobody's done more work than Jack Kirby, except that Jack Kirby was never on a single book.
That's a good
Long
question. Which artist drew the most goddamn comics?
Right, we're
I
running short
would
on
say
time,
Jack
guys,
Kirby.
so we got to move on to the next book.
Which is-
Avengers, right?
Oh, yeah. Damn.
I love Savage Dragon, but we are running short on time. Remember, we do have another
You don't
cocktail.
love Savage Dragon.
Yeah, we love Savage
You
Dragon.
don't love nothing, John.
You gotta get rid
All
of
right,
it.
Avengers.
Avengers key issue. There is a first appearance in there. I'm not aware of what the character's name is. I couldn't look it up.
There was a quick question from Marlon. Was the Watchmen series on TV good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Watchmen TV
I thought it was
series.
good. I thought
10 years.
it was good, but they lost me in the origin issue. And the origin that the one with
10 years, bro.
when they did the origin of Dr. Manhattan, they completely cagged it. And the end completely cagged it, which to me,
That was fantastic. The
like
end.
I thought that was dumb as fuck.
What-
I thought that was the dumbest shit ever.
I thought that was one of the best written television shows in the last 10 years.
It was up to like the
What they
last
did with
2,
Hooded
3,
Justice.
the last 2, 3.
Like, how do you retcon something and still it makes sense within the story?
It's that it didn't. It did not.
The
It
Hooded
was
Justice did make sense. That was
no. It did not make sense. The Hooded Justice did not make sense. The characterizations of all the characters did not really completely make sense. Ozymandias, as a stupid ass, like he's stupid. Like his plan was fucking stupid. Like Dr. Manhattan lets himself get killed. Like that's not something that would happen. You know, like it's just.
I think you're being too fucking
No.
literal to the comics. That is clearly not a direct.
No, they were trying so hard to make a point about something that they fucked it up. Like to me, it was just I didn't like it. The last 2, 3
Rage!
episodes were like
Nerd rage!
That's passion right there.
Anyway,
Okay,
Avengers
well,
48.
John
Who read
Johnson-
this?
I didn't get to read it.
So why are we putting it? I didn't read it
I
either.
thought you read it.
No one read it.
All right,
Anybody read
let's
it?
move on to the next
move
one.
on.
Jesus.
Let's sell some comics.
Anything else? Midnighter? No, I didn't read anything else. Fear State? No. A Dark Ages is the only one I read, and
And we're out of it.
we're out of it.
Unless did you
What
read
did you
anything else,
read?
Julio?
No. Well, I did read Spawn
Okay, let's.
321,
How about you, Raul? What did you read?
and I did.
I've been
read
reading the Batman Superman. I haven't read that one, the annual that came out this
Well,
week.
that doesn't smell good.
But that series
review,
is
man.
a lot of fun. Really, really well done.
Well, let's
written-
get a review on the Spawn then. Since we're
Are we
about
going to do the Star Wars Minute?
As soon as we do
No,
our
no.
review on
Do
Spawn,
that.
because we're about to do our review.
All right. Spawn, same as Savage Dragon. This is another book that I highly recommend it. Pick up any issue, and it's a story that progresses, and it's a story that the story moves along. It's not a story. It's not a book where like every issue there's like 4 characters talking and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens in here, you know.
That's a great book, man.
So, I mean-
McFarlane's a beast. He's doing a
I mean,
lot.
now you have this. You have King Spawn.
Yeah.
He's expanding the universe. Next month is Gunslinger Spawn, which I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to. And it's an expansion of the series. There's some revelations in here that I would not disclose because then it would spoil the book. But so you have the spirit of medieval Spawn possessing somebody, and that's what medieval Spawn is. Then you have She Spawn, and you have Gunslinger Spawn, and Al Simmons Spawn, and they're kind of like a team because when Spawn died in like slightly before issue 300, he died. But what he also did is he locked the doors of heaven and hell. So now all demons and all angels are trapped here on Earth.
Damn.
You know, and they're warring, and then to top that off, there's the revelation that there's a multiverse of spawns that are also here, and they're all vying for control of the Earth. And so like that's what's going on in this book. Completely different from like where Spawn started. It's an expansion of it, and I can't wait to see what it does. Cagliostro, the person who we always thought that he was like Spawn's mentor, turns out that he also has his own ulterior motives. So, yes, I highly recommend this book. Pick up this series, go back, pick up issue 300, and read those. Like you could read from issue 300 on,
Yeah.
and not having read any Spawn before because it'll catch you up.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome to know. We can tell out to
Yeah.
We have 300, still left a couple of.
Yeah.
That was a great book too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, McFarlane for the industry, he's done miracles.
Mhm.
He's
Tom McFarlane.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And
it's all right, Bob.
and hands
Top
down, like even though he doesn't draw this book, McFarlane consistently has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
All the artists that he gets on this book, and in the coming months, the artists that he's gonna get on the other books, they're all gonna be good. You have Donnie Cates coming in, writing for him.
I can't wait for that.
And it's gonna be really good.
Right.
Right.
Well, I guess with that said, I guess everybody knows what time it is.
It's... I'll let Fawad take the middle seat.
It's Mr. Fawad Siddiqui with our Star Wars Minute.
Shut up, everybody. Shut up.
It can't get more intense than this. This is...
Okay.
You're right
Okay, it's a dark time for the rebellion and the...
Oh, so that's the whole series.
It is a dark time for comic book fans of the Star Wars universe. A new empire has taken over the entire franchise.
And the name is
commanded
Disney.
by a dark mouse.
there.
And they have destroyed all our nerd fun for 40 years. And now us middle-aged men must grapple with the new reality that is changing our lives. I don't know about many of you, but I watched episode 1 18 times in different movie theaters around the country.
Yeah.
The first girl I ever kissed was from a Star Wars chat room. Not many people know that, my secret origin. I used to watch, that's fucking true. I used to watch Star Wars when I was a little kid.
Year one over here.
Star Wars was always on the TV when we were little kids. Yeah, and that's how you got to know Luke Skywalker was on the ABC weekend movie and shit like that. And you vaguely remember that you used to destroy your big brother's action figures in the backyard. And I did that. I destroyed all of them, and I lost the rest in a Darth Vader carrying case while on a vacation to England. And then I tried to smother myself in a pillow because I was full of shame that night. Those figures are probably worth thousands of dollars, and,
Yes.
they're in the clutches of some British thief right now to this day. I hope he chokes on them and dies. But that is the way of the dark side, and I have learned the ways of peace and light from fucking Star Wars. And Luke Skywalker, my hero, who came back in an episode of The Mandalorian last season.
Yes.
Because of him, I started buying all these goddamn Marvel Star Wars comic books. And now I am almost caught up. And I am finally trying to read The High Republic. Okay, I've listened to both of the mainstream novels about the High Republic. The Rising Storm is the recent one. I know you know about The Rising Storm. You know it, not so much.
Not so much at all.
I read the first one too, and I've read the other ones. Stop trying to read these fucking comic books, okay? And they're about Keeve Trennis. She's a Jedi Padawan, not that one. That one's about this bounty hunter chick. She's not bad. She's a monster killer. Star. They've introduced like 34 different Jedi characters in these novels and books, and now you gotta learn about them. People like Keeve Trennis and Avar Chris and that fucking guy with the beard and that other one.
Art's pretty good.
The writer of the main line of comics is named Cavan Scott. He's a British guy, and he wrote some Doctor Who audio dramas that I actually listened to a long time ago. I didn't hate. So it's interesting how I hate him now that he's writing Star Wars, and I didn't hate him when I didn't even know who the fuck he was. So my politics need to be put aside. And now I'm reading these with fresh eyes, and they're pretty good. Actually, probably the best written Star Wars of the line right now, because the stuff in the old time line is fucking incoherent. If you're reading War of Bounty Hunters, God bless you. I'm reading it, and that shit is. It's
But
like,
is it a war or what the fuck is
It's
it?
not even a
40
war.
issues or something?
It's 40 issues. There's no war going on. There's a few
Jesus.
bounty hunters. Every time a bounty hunter appears, they magically gets killed by Darth Vader in 2 seconds, and that's the war. But it's pretty cool. Meanwhile, in this, so you have this new beacon that the Jedi's have set up to help colonize the Outer Rim, and this Padawan just became a knight, and they're out there and they're fighting these Nihil. Nihil are the bad guys. There's still no Siths. And you know, it's not bad. They're woke. There's some trans characters. There's some gay characters. There's some
It's very woke.
So
ladies.
wait,
There's a lot of ladies.
so then he writes both? Because this is High Republic 2,
So
but it's IDW.
okay. So this franchise is split between Marvel and IDW.
Interesting.
Marvel's got like 5 comics. IDW's got 3 or 4. IDW did a scam and they told Disney we're going to do all ages stuff, but it turns out it's all ages stuff. So the Marvel's like, what the fuck? But they got it, and now they both interact with each other, okay, and the novels. So they focus on a few different Jedi in the IDW stuff, and they focus on the main one in this. And that's about it. And so there's
What about this book, the one that came out this week?
No, it's the same shit. Look. Alright. So in this one, this is Kiev Trennis. She's got that new gay haircut that everybody likes in the pop culture, where she's got half shaved head and half hair. I don't think she's gay, and I love gay people.
I mean, not originally wasn't gay.
God.
So, you know, they've done some character design on. She's undercover now. She's acting like a Nihil. The Nihil are led by this guy. So the thing about the Nihil is, oh god.
Are they Force users?
No, they're just punks. They're space punks, and they organize their battle fleet in a storm theme. So they're called storms. And each storm is broken into a cloud, which is kind of a fruity name for a battle unit, a cloud. But so there's the storms and there's tempests. The big thing is the tempest, and the tempest is broken into storms. The storms broken into little clouds. And there are three of them.
Between battalions and
Tempests.
platoons. And
Yeah, there's three
similar
tempests,
things.
and they're led by one guy who's called the Eye of the Storm. And he's a guy who's got these hyperspace trails that you can do hyperspace jumps that nobody ever thought of. You can jump right inside the planet. Maybe I can jump into your bathroom and show up, and then I fucking hyperspace jump out. And I'll hyperspace jump
This is
into
ridiculous.
wherever I want to. Not in the bathroom, literally, but they can jump in the atmosphere.
Are we talking about ships or are we talking about people?
Ships, not people. This is fucking Star Trek Discovery
Oh,
where
because you said
teleporters
you're
can
gonna show up
teleport
in my
anywhere.
bathroom. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, maybe you read your comics in the fucking bathroom. I don't know. Okay, so look. So that's what it's about. And now the Eye, that's in the novels. That's going on. The Eye, I forget his name. Some shit there. And it
So
turns
he's the
out he
bad
has this like force-sensitive lady stuck in a closet. Not a closet. It's got her in a thing in his ship, and she's the one that can sense all the jumps and stuff. So so the New Republic is going through this golden age, and these Nihils are out there fucking it up. And they you know, the first event that kicked off the thing was in the first novel where they had a hyperspace ship. They got broken apart and teleported in places, mashing things up. And the second big event just now was that the Chancellor of the Republic wanted to have a big fair to celebrate everything being peachy keen, and the fucking Nihil showed up and blasted it. Don't punch me in the balls! Alright, that's Star Wars Minute! We'll tune in next time. I'll tell the books away!
The violence.
It's the only way to stop
All
him,
right.
folks. It's the only way to stop him. Alright, guys. I think that's the show.
That was amazing.
My comic book.
It's great.
Take my comic
So
book
in
and
the
go home.
timeline, is
Punch
this
me in the face, I'm going
is
home.
this after the sequel trilogy or
200 years or 300 years or 500 years before the Skywalker saga, what they hate. Everything's like, fuck Skywalker. This is
They
hundreds
really
of years before
fucking
Skywalker saga. You know, like, nobody should
there's no Skywalkers around.
There's no fucking Skywalkers. Although I've always wondered, who was Shmi Skywalker's dad? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Skywalker out there.
Yeah.
And I want a comic book.
There's no cousins? There's no other Skywalkers?
There had to be a whole chain of Skywalkers that
Yeah.
Disney doesn't want to show us about. Where are the hidden Skywalkers, Disney? Where are the Skywalkers? We want the Skywalkers.
This is when we stun gun him. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I want to thank Raul for being here, Julio for being here. Not so much for Watt. We're gonna be going on Whatnot next, so catch us on there if you want to see any good stuff we're gonna be selling. And this Saturday, Labor Day sale, we will have tents outside. We will have vendors outside. We'll have a little barbecue. A little bit of everything on Saturday. Come by, and we'll celebrate Labor Day. That good
Do
stuff.
some laboring.
We'll do some laboring. That's what we do. Because we're the #1 comic book shop
Yeah!
in Miami.
There you go, guys.
We're number one.
We're number one. We're number one. We're number one.